Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between a real Breitling watch and a fake one. The examples I have here in front of me today are the Super Ocean Heritage models, one of which was purchased here at a local retailer for about $5,000. The other was advertised on Craigslist for $3,500. Now, I don't know if the gentleman on Craigslist actually, believed he had a genuine, or if he knew it was fake and he was just trying to pull a scam. I don't know, but I was very quickly able to determine that it was a fake, and I gave the guy $50 for it, just for the purpose of demonstrating in a video how to tell the difference between the two, so that if there's anyone out there that's in the market for one and you are not that familiar with it, hopefully this video helps and you're not spending several $1,000s on something that is worth $100 at best. Now, what I can tell you about these watches is that the markings are identical. The movement to the naked eye is identical. The dimensions are identical, and the weight is pretty much spot on. I think if I threw them on a triple beam, they'd be a little bit of a difference, but as far as holding them in your hand, can't tell the difference. So how do you know? Well, let's zoom in on the blue one and then the black one, and let's see if you can spot which one is the fake. And let's go over to the black one. And let's see if we can get them both in the same shot. Okay, so if you have not been able to figure it out by now, the black one on the right is the one that is the replica, whereas the blue one on the left is the real deal. So with all these similarities, how can you tell the difference between the two? Well, there are a couple tells, but let's start with the date wheel. We'll zoom back in on the blue one here and take a look at the date wheel. The contrast is very high, the white is very white, the black is very black, and the numerals take up the entire cavity of the date window, whereas in the replica, it does not. The contrast is very low. You almost have to squint in order to be able to tell what the date is at all, and it does not, the numerals don't take up the entire date window as it does in the genuine. Also, let's take a look at the B at the 12 o'clock position, where, as you can see, it is very metallic looking. It is three-dimensional, and the light bounces off of the curves of it, whereas in the replica, there are no such characteristics. It is very one-dimensional. It is very dull. Almost looks like it is stamped into the dial there. Also, in the band itself, let's position these this way a little bit. And you can see that your band in your replica is almost 50% thinner than your band in your genuine. Also, speaking of the band, every Breitling watch is going to have serial numbers inside the band. Now, you're always going to have your engravings on your casing, but if you look closely where the band meets the casing, there's actual serial numbers engraved there, whereas in your replica, there are no such markings. Now, taking a closer look at the buckle, the one on the top is on the genuine. The one on the bottom is the one from the replica. And as you can see, the one on the top, the engraving is much thicker. What you can't see from the video is that it is much deeper. By running your fingernail across it, you can tell that the one on the top is definitely much more deeper than the one that is that on the bottom. I hope that helps. As far as, wondering whether or not you're going to end up getting the real deal, you should have a mental checklist. Check the date wheel. Make sure that it is, it fills up the entire cavity, and also make sure that there is no gap between the date wheel and the dial itself. If there's any type of space in between there, you got yourself a fake. Take a look at your Breitling insignia. If it is very one-dimensional and does not look like it is metallic at all, then you got yourself a fake. Also inside the band, whether you've got your Navitimer bracelet, your mesh, or even an alligator band, they will all have serial numbers inside the band where it meets the case. If you don't have that, then you got yourself a fake. And, if worse comes to worse, you can always take whichever watch you think, that you end up wanting to buy, take it to your local jeweler, and then he'll crack the back open, or he'll probably just be able to look at it and in a second tell you whether it's the real deal or not. But if you don't have that resource readily available to you, just remember these tips from this video, and I hope that helps you out. Thanks for watching.